Welcome back to the Squirrel Head YouTube channel, and the World Cup semi-finals are now set. Tuesday evening you're going to see Belgium take on France, which will be a hell of a game. I've got no doubt that that'll be a hell of a game. And then on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock you've got England taking on Croatia, which again I think that's going to be a tough match for both teams. I think it's people saying that we have the easier side of this draw. It depends how you look at it. It depends really how we're not taking on the talent levels of Belgium, which we've already taken on in the groups, and we aren't taking on the talent levels of France either. That's a given. That's absolutely fine. Croatia are a solid team. They're a difficult team, and notoriously during this tournament have been a very difficult team to break down. So we have got our work cut out for us. But let's have a look at that game that we played against Sweden. We did play a very good game. We kept a clean sheet. We won 2-0, and it was a really good performance from England. It was a measured performance, professional performance, and goals from Harry Maguire, a goal from Dele Alli. Very well. I think Ali needed that goal more than anybody, just to give himself a bit more confidence in this tournament. And I just think we actually could have had much more. We could have had more goals. We could have had way more opportunities in this game. We had a lot of opportunities. A lot of them fell to Raheem Sterling, who is getting a massive slating on social media just because he can't finish it. And I know what people are saying. People might expect me to say and slate him as well, because he was a former Liverpool player, left in very, very just awful circumstances, very difficult circumstances that makes it difficult for me to like him as a player. But for Manchester City, he's done well, and he's actually one of their highest scorers behind Aguero and I can't remember who else. He was one of their highest scorers though. So to play him up in that position, I can understand why Gareth Southgate was doing it, because he's been doing it for Manchester City. Yes, you can say he's playing with a different calibre of players around him at Manchester City, and that is absolutely, again, that is a given. He's playing with different talented players, likes of Leroy Sané, Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, who hasn't put it together with Brazil this tournament, but for Manchester City, playing well. He's got a different set of players, different style of players, and to be fair, it's one of those things for me. I think Raheem Sterling is only a little bit away from being able to put these opportunities away, get that confidence back. And if he does get confident and he starts putting those opportunities away, then no doubt he will do well for the rest of this tournament. A lot of people are calling for Marcus Rashford to come in instead of Sterling, and either way, whether Sterling starts or Marcus Rashford starts, I've got no bones about which, Marcus Rashford is a more natural striker than Raheem Sterling. He still carries that threat of massive pace, dangerous pace. Physicality is what he brings that maybe Sterling doesn't. He's a bigger player, he's bigger built, he knows how to use that physicality well, and he is a very confident. He does not seem to have a lot of fear. At such a young age, he does not seem to have a lot of fear. So he will ghost into the box. He will take shots on that people might not think, oh, that's a crazy angle to take a shot from. But he could be a good option as well. And he'll be very, very fresh because he's been used very sparingly in this tournament. The only thing that I think would go in our favour right now, looking ahead to England versus Croatia, is that we got it done in 90 minutes. Croatia had to go all the way through penalties, and that is going to be a very tiring experience. There is no doubt in my mind, statistically and on paper, that yes, Croatia probably do have the better overall midfield to England. But our midfield's been doing very, very well. Jordan Henderson is getting plaudits from a lot of different people, not just Liverpool fans, from a lot of different people, which he finally deserves. He really does deserve all of that praise. Everybody else in the midfield that's involved there as well. Dele Alli played well yesterday. Hasn't played well throughout this tournament, but he's played well there. Eric Dyer, when he's come in, has played very, very well. The only weak link that I can see for us right now, purely from a positional standpoint, is Kyle Walker. And I am not slating the quality of Kyle Walker, because as a right back, Kyle Walker is definitely England's best. He is. There's no question about it. He is a fantastic right back. As a centre back, he just doesn't look greatly comfortable, and I feel that at times we have gotten lucky. There was times yesterday against Sweden where he pushed up a little bit too far, misplaced a pass, and then there isn't someone there to cover that space that he's left open in that back three. So then what that has done is almost allowed Sweden, and if Sweden had some faster players, they probably could have punished us from this point, because it meant that Harry Maguire, and I can't remember who the other centre-back was. No, it's gone. Can't remember. But yeah, that they've had to then come over and try and cover, put the pressure on, which could then also vacate a space over the other side of the box. You get what I'm talking about. It just, for me, if they're going to continue, which I fully expect that they're going to continue using Kyle Walker as a centre-back, he just needs to be a bit more positionally aware of where he's going. He can't freely just wander into midfield like he could, and as you can, as a right-back. That's all I'm saying. That's the only weak point that I can see right now. Other than that, England looks solid. England look like they are working hard. They are working hard as a team. From back to front, they are connected. And that is so important. From defence, midfield to attack, we look connected. And while we're not blowing teams away, apart from Panama, while we're not blowing teams away, we are getting through games. We're not grinding through them because we're not making them exceptionally difficult. A 2-0 win. It was fairly comfortable yesterday. Nothing greatly massive to scream about. There was some, there were good goals. But other than that, we played well. We played well. We played professional. We played a good defensive game. We played a good midfield game. And we played a very good attacking game as well. And I think it also has to be said, while I talk about all of the outfield players, Jordan Pickford, I don't care if he plays for Everton. As a Liverpool fan, I don't care if he plays for Everton. That lad is absolutely magnificent. Gareth Southgate absolutely did the correct thing by not taking Joe Hart. And this isn't going to be like I'm going to slag Joe Hart off, but Joe Hart at England international level is done. He is. And I don't know where his club career is going, and I'm not sure if he knows where his club career is going. But Jordan Pickford is the right now, he is the present, and he is the future of this England team as a goalkeeper. He is magnificent. He is brilliant. He puts his body on the line. He puts himself on the line, and it absolutely pays off for him. The save that he made, which I think could have made it 1-1, were we 2-0 up at one point. The ball, it comes in, someone lays it off to someone running into the box, and they side foot it, and it's one of those you always see it go in. But he gets down low, he gets down with a strong hand, strong arm as well, gets that ball out, fantastic stuff. And then the defence put their bodies on the line after that as well to stop the second ball coming back in and to stop a second shot being took on goal. We are playing well. We are playing in a way that I've not expected England to play. I was fully prepared for World Cup 2014 to happen again. I was fully prepared for that. Gareth Southgate has done a magnificent job under horrific scrutiny from the English media and stuff like that as well. Everybody thought we were just getting another yes man, someone like Roy Hodgson in that similar sort of mould. But he's actually, with his team selection, his team setup, people were crying out for him to change from the 3-5-2. But he's stuck with it. He's stuck with his guns. He is stuck with what he knows he wants to do, what he has got the team to do, and I'm fully behind that. We failed at tournaments previously because Roy Hodgson would change things. People always used to, people talked, I remember, I think we went 10 games unbeaten before the 2014 World Cup. We had 10 games, we were unbeaten, and then Roy Hodgson, as soon as the World Cup turns up, changes the system, changes things about, no one's comfortable. We go out with 1 point at the group stage. 1 point in a group that had Costa Rica, Uruguay and Italy. Now, out of those 3 teams, you'd expect to beat Costa Rica at that point. Uruguay, you were going to face the test, especially when you've got a younger, much more prime Suarez and Cavani. And then you've got Italy, who were, again, at that point, they were leading the line with Balotelli and stuff like that. They weren't necessarily in the best shape themselves, but they did it and they beat us. So, look at where we are now, 4 years later. And obviously, after 2 years after being knocked out by Iceland in the Euros, we are in such a different position. And to be in a semi-final, I've not known England to be in a semi-final of a World Cup in my lifetime. I'm 30 years old and I've not known England to be in a semi-final. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. What's more incredible for me as well is seeing the amount of people that aren't football fans that are tuned in. They're looking at what is happening with England. It's just ridiculous to see that, like, yes, football fans were obviously into it, but people that aren't football fans are also sort of like getting into it as well. And obviously there's going to be those people that don't like it and don't like seeing like town centres and stuff going absolutely mental, singing "It's Coming Home" and stuff like that. But not only does a World Cup happen every 4 years, it doesn't happen that often. It's like the Olympics, doesn't happen that often. What else doesn't happen very often is England going far in a tournament like this. We have to enjoy this as long as it lasts. If we go out to Croatia, we go out to Croatia. We've gone further than we should have gone by a lot of people's measure. But we're in such a good place right now. We're in such a good position right now where taking on Croatia, we have nothing to fear. We have nothing to fear. Not because I think that Croatia are inferior to England, but because we've come this far. We are in the 4 best teams in the World Cup right now, whether you like it or not, and whether you believe that statement or not, because you can only go with the facts that are in front of you. We are in the semi-finals, which means we are actually in the 4 best teams in the world right now, best nations in the world. England, Croatia, Belgium, France. Whatever happens, if we get to the final, you can only hope, can't you? Imagine if they win it. And if they don't win it and they get to the final, we got to a final. We got to a final. And if we tried our best and we don't succeed, then we've tried our best and we didn't succeed. We can go again. But we've just got to have a little bit more belief, I think. I think a little bit positivity around the England team has not been something I've known a great deal. Probably the last great positive I remember, even vaguely, I think so I would have been 9 years old when it was 96. 9 years old, I can't even really remember what I was doing when I was 9 years old. I imagine I enjoyed it. I don't know. Positivity around the England national team is not something that I've known, and we need to hold on to it and cherish it for as long as possible. As long as we are in this tournament, and we're in the semi-finals, man. We're in the semi-finals. We've got a great chance against Croatia. I'm looking forward to it, and I do think that England will beat. This has turned into a prediction now. I do think that England will beat Croatia in 90 minutes, and I think we will win 2-1 against Croatia, and we will go through to the final. And whoever we face, because by the time we play on Wednesday, if we do make it through, we will know who will be in the final from the other game, from Belgium versus France. We will know it, who's going to have gone through. And if I'm going to predict that game, I think that France will go through. I do. I think that France will go through. I think France will go through to this final. And then from then on, who knows? I don't know. But that's it. I just wanted to talk about England for a little bit. Haven't talked about England a great deal. And I just really wanted to tap into that positivity that we've got right now. And I just hope that everybody... Obviously, I don't. If you're not English, I don't expect you to buy into England being positive and everything like that. But if you are English, I hope that you can get behind the team, and I hope you're enjoying the positivity as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you've got a great Sunday ahead of you. Hope you're going to have a nice chilled day. Whatever happens, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will catch you later.